Well, that was generic and easily forgettable. Just like that one Tom Clancy movie Michael B. Jordan was in last year that no one remembers. And if you do, you're probably wrong. Since it was, so awful, since it wasn't, and it was because, since it wasn't just, okay, look, it wasn't awful, nor was it just okay. It's in that gray area of between mediocre and below average, which is how I describe the latest Hulu movie I just saw. I don't really know what else to say since I saw this a week ago, and I've been too busy to write this review, and honestly, since after the movie, I told myself this movie was easily forgettable, I kind of wanted to see if I would prove myself wrong, and sadly, I wasn't wrong. So The Princess comes from 20th Century Studios, which means it will be on Hulu for multiple reasons, and I can't be too mad. I mean, a new Predator movie that actually looks promising comes out not long from now, but this movie, on the other hand, I mean, it is what it is. Not good. So, the movie was written by Jake Thornton and Ben Lustig and directed by Lee Van Keet, with Joey King starring as the princess in this not typical princess story. Okay, before I go harsh on this movie, I do like it for not being a wink to the camera movie where they think it takes its, take on the story is so clever they do inside jokes or fourth wall jokes or whatever. And I wish movies did play their stories more straight. That way, I care. But I did not care for this movie. I compared this movie to Tom Clancy Without Remorse. I said the full title for those who didn't want to Google it. Because, like that movie, it's not badly made or badly acted, but it's not good enough to not feel new or interesting. Or, no, it's not good enough to feel new or interesting. I'm sorry, my head hurts. Where was I? Yeah. But look, at least I feel like it's trying to do so. It's not awful. And this movie, what I'm trying to say is the movie at least doesn't feel like it's trying to be awful. And this movie isn't awful. As I said, Joey King stars as the princess, where she wakes up locked in a tower, but when the soldiers belonging to the madman who kidnapped her approach her, she's not your damsel in distress, she'll put all the men in distress. Okay, look, so get this, she can fight back and she knows how to fight, so be cautious. She has to get through the castle to get to her royal family and save the kingdom from the mad son of a royal diplomat, played by Dominic Cooper, who wants the kingdom and will force the princess to, marry him. But she'll not only have to save her family and kingdom, but prove to all the people a woman can fight. Like, I don't know, 2 different women in the movie seem to be allowed to fight, but I guess she's a princess, so... Oh yeah, that's right, I don't remember. Listen, I have no problem with tough ladies in movies or whatever, or tough lady leads, I guess, I know. I think it's wrong at all to think, oh, we don't need, I'm tired, I think it's wrong for people to say, oh, I'm sick and tired of tough women in films. Like, I'm sick of people who say that. Like, I think it is that the problem is this movie exemplifies the main problem when people do this today, where they make the main character flawless and honestly bland. I'm sure many people are tired of hearing comparisons from movies to the Mulan remake from 2020, but like that movie, its lead is tough and doesn't show any, if any, need for improvement. And is also badly written. Thus, I don't care to see her succeed, since, unlike the original movie, Mulan actually shows strength and growth over time. So this is a hero I root for and care for. And not to say this character can work, I guess, it's just, it doesn't work here. And the whole movie is kind of her just fighting through the castle with flashbacks here or there to show how she got into this situation, which honestly should have been all at the beginning, so she feels like a developed character. And look, the princess is pretty much honestly a bland Fiona from Shrek, and I'm not joking, that's what made me think of her. Of course I might be thinking that since she has red hair. Joey King is okay as the lead. I'm sure she wanted to branch out from just being in rom-coms, but I gotta be honest, I did not see the character. I saw Joey King just doing a performance. Of course that might not have worked since not only was this character playing, but she's just called the princess. She doesn't actually have a name, so how am I not supposed to just see her as his archetype? So you just want people to see a tough woman these days. Look, I've seen plenty of great action woman movies, and don't pretend sexism doesn't still exist. Some movies like this aren't relevant when they still are. Gay marriage is legal, but they're still homophobic people, and I'm tired of the 2 to 3 people I know who will tell me this. That, oh, I'm so sick of these movies trying to get this across when they know better. Well, not everyone knows better. Wait, am I getting off topic? Okay, look. Now, with that said, if I did compare this to anything else, it's like the Lightyear movie, where if it did come out in the 90s, it would have been seen as just okay. Coming out today, it feels generic and unoriginal. But maybe if it was a direct-to-DVD canon movie from the 80s, maybe it'd be fine. Because you might be asking, well, what about the action? What if it's just the fighting I want for entertainment? I mean, it's a good action. I wasn't bored. This is a rated R movie, so the fights are chaotic and have blood and whatnot. So, like I said, it's not a bad movie. Like, it can be entertaining, the fight sequences. But plenty of action movies these days need to stick out. The more that come out, the more we get used to it. So we gotta up the ante. People more and more are used to these types of fights in movies. And here, other than maybe the boss fights with Dominic Cooper or his lady friend with the lip, I don't remember her name and I don't care to look it up, were cool. Everyone else, I don't remember what she did to them. I think she like maybe flew off a balcony and kicked someone or something. I don't remember. Which is weird considering there were legions of guards and soldiers to fight, but again, it felt hollow. I mean, everything everywhere all at once had fights that were one of a kind, weird and memorable. And if you think this movie was just okay for all the fighting, since most of this movie is just fighting, I can see why you would like this movie. But for me, I didn't hate it, but I like already. But like I said so many times earlier. This isn't memorable, not that interesting, nor rewatchable, or anything more. The movie is exactly what I thought it would be. Never does it make me think the main character was in any real danger she couldn't get out of. And again, she's not interesting since I've seen this before. I know what the message they're doing, but it's not done well or different enough. I think it's important still for new movies to have messages like this, but they need to be done new and different. And this isn't. The movie is, and without a doubt, a movie you put on since you want something for background noise, and maybe you'll glance once in a while looking up to see the cool fighting. And I'm sorry if that sounds harsh. Okay, look, I'm just sorry. And any other cool things I guess I could say is the costumes, cinematography, the set design, and that's about it. I give The Princess a 4.5 out of 10.